32, 65, 42, 71. These were just some of the ages that my middle school students shouted out to me when they were trying to guess my age. And that's when I realized that middle schoolers do not have a good perception of time. It was so bad that one of my students went home and told his mom that I had served in World War I. And she tried to convince him otherwise, but he said, no, Mom, he was a soldier in World War I. He has the war wounds. I don't know where he got that from. But because of that, a lot of my students and people think that I've been teaching for 20 plus years. The hair, the loss of hair, a little bit of a paunch, all that stuff. But actually, I am ending my 10th year teaching. I decided to change my career midstream. And it came because of one pivotal conversation. But I need to back up a little bit. Now, my wife and my mother, for many years, told me that I should go into teaching. But I was like, I'm not going to go into teaching. It's just, you don't make that much money. It's a hard job. I remember how we acted toward this, teachers in high school and middle school and all that. I'm not doing it. So I went to school, and I had 7 different majors in 4 years. And I realized I don't know what I want to do with my life, so I took a gap year, turned into 11. Went to work at a call center, and I got on the phone, started moving up the ranks, became a team lead, became a trainer, then became a training manager. That's what you're supposed to do, move up the corporate ladder. And I loved training. I love to see how people would start to understand things. The young ones or people come back into the workforce, whatever it might be. When the light switch went off instead of the light bulb. So I really enjoyed that. And so I thought, I want to make a little bit more money. But when I got to managing, after just a couple months, I started hating the job because it was not training anymore. It was managing. It was putting out fires. And I had 2 bosses, one that I reported to directly and one that had a dotted line, and they didn't agree. And I had trainers that thought that I should be doing better, and so on and so on. So in the summer of 2010, I was feeling pretty down. Hated my job, hated going to work every day. And there's one trainer, they were having a conversation, having some small talk. But then he asked me, how do you like your job? And I said, I hate it. And he said, training? I said, no, managing. I hate managing. And so he said to me, well, if you can't go back to training, why don't you teach? I said, I'm stuck. It's too late. And then he said to me, no, it's not. And I was about to say something to him when I just started thinking. It was in this dark training hallway near the end of the night, and all of the words and all the things of encouragement that my wife had told me, that my mom had told me, that people told me of going to teaching. And I decided maybe it's not too late. Maybe I can do this. So the next day, I demoted myself. I went to the call center manager and I said, I want to go back. I'm just going to go back to the phones, and I'm just going to work full time. And he tried to convince me otherwise, and so did the senior training manager. I said, no, I'm going back to school. So I ended up working full time, going to school full time. My wife became a single mother. My kids, they don't remember it. It's like, oh, you were gone for 3.5 years, Dad? But that's just a testament to how much my wife really took care of our family while I was doing all that. But that completely changed the trajectory of my life, completely. Because of teaching, I found something that was rewarding. And I love working with students, as hard as it is sometimes. And sometimes it's really hard to get out of bed. But I love it. I love that light switch going off and seeing the students. And because of teaching, I got back into theater again. And because of getting into theater, I also got a new community. And that's also why I'm standing on the stage today, because of that trajectory, the people I met, the rewarding life that it's giving me. And so when I look back at that, I didn't ask, and Kevin was his name, I didn't ask Kevin a question. But he answered the question that I didn't think I'd asked. And so, was it too late? No, it wasn't. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.